Hello, friends. Some time back, I had shared my story about my situation as a home buyer in Nirala Aspire, which is in Greater Noida West, UP. I had booked a flat in 2012, October 2012, and till date, when we are talking in 2023, February 2023, I have not got my possession, and I have I have been burdened with rent and the EMI. Now I will be sharing the story of what has been happening to me from the bank side with the nexus with builder. Uh, the agreement was done for this flat in May 2023. I applied a loan of 28 lakhs from INDIABULLS, and the same got sanctioned by later dated 14th June 2013, and the disbursement was done. But my surprise, they started hitting two different EMI on the same date for the loan. Since this is the first time I had opted for any loan, specifically the home loan, so I was not aware actually what happens and how the EMI gets debited. So 2 3 months, it took me 2 3 months to understand the situation, and then I contacted the person Salini Mehra. She was the one who facilitated the loan getting sanctioned from India Bulls. She was the employee of India Bulls, probably from the sales team. And she said, there is nothing to be worried. This is just for internal purpose. Your total EMI amount is same. Okay, so don't worry. Still, I was not convinced, and I raised this concern to their customer care. Why, when I applied one loan, India Bull one sanction later of 28 lakhs, but how they have split it in two different account. One is of 10 lakhs and another is of 18 lakhs, and they are hitting two different EMI with respect to that disbursed amount. Overall EMI remains same, but they are hitting two different EMIs on the same date. Initially, I was not aware of why this has happened and what is the objective of India Bulls behind this splitting the one loan in two sub account. Between June 2013 till 2018, multiple times I had to go through the interest rate revision. Then I realized India Bulls were asking two different application, two different fee to reduce the EMI whenever there is an application made by us. Then I realized that this is the objective behind this splitting the loan. India Bulls is actually running a scam to extort extra money from the customers like us. They have created this process, and that is illegal, completely illegal, to extort extra amount from the customer's packet. Somebody would be thinking, why, when the EMI is same, why it becomes a problem. Yes, it becomes a problem. You have to ensure your two EMI gets debited every month. Also, whenever you are going for any sort of interest revision or any sort of changes in your loan account, you have to give two different application forms, two different fees. And consider, if by any chance, if you are not able to pay the EMI, there will be two different bouncing charge for one loan. So they are, in all the scenario, they are taking extra. I would not say taking, it's a extorting extra money from the customer illegally. That is number one. I raised this concern with India Bulls, but they are not willing to accept it. I have raised multiple to their grievance redressal forum, but nothing happening. Nothing happening till date. Now this is one part. India Bulls till 2018, the time when I had no issue with builder, and everything was going fine, and the project was supposed to be delivered. India Bulls continue to reduce interest rate whenever there is a request made by us. But in December 2018, when I filed a case against builder in RERA. At the same month, India Bulls r- changed my interest rate from 9.15% to 12.65% in one go, approximately 3%. In no such instances RBI had increased such a steep increase in the repo rate. When I talked to India Bulls, they continued to give any reason and they started refusing my application. Initially, before I filed a complaint against builder, India Bulls used to accept my application and they used to reduce my rate whenever I may make a request. But when I filed a case against builder, India Bulls were not giving me any explanation and they were simply saying we cannot reduce your interest rate, and that too verbal. Nobody on the email was willing to say anything. I raised multiple emails to India Bulls, but none of my email were addressed. During 2018, after 2018, I continued to fight on both the front, one with builder, where despite the due date for possession was 2016, the builder refused to pay the to pay the interest rate and refused to pay the hand over the possession as well. At the same time, India Bulls were charging me very high interest rate and they were not letting me apply for interest reduction. At the same time, India Bulls were giving a interest rate to their new customers about 9%, but mine was being charged at 12.75%. The difference between the RBI repo rate and India Bulls, earlier it used to be 3%, now it has raised to 6%. This is a clear cut indication to me that there must be a nexus between builder and the bank, because is builder is using bank to suppress my voice against the builder. They are forcing me to give up the fight against the builder. And whenever I used to go to bank and used to write to bank is saying one thing, that why can't you transfer your loan to others, we would not be able to give you any reduction in the interest rate, this is as per company policy, if you are not happy, you go and transfer your loan. But here is a catch. I have talked to multiple banks after that. I thought it's wise to do a balance transfer to other bank, but other banks simply said me one thing, and that too verbal, because nobody, I was not a customer, so they were not willing to give me anything in writing. They said, since the lease deed is not has been done to this flat, no other bank will take a loan transfer. First thing you have to do is registration of the flat, but builder is not allowing me to do the registration. So now see the situation. One way, I have been the victim of being right and the victim of a home buyer as a home buyer, and the other front, bank is charging approximately 6 to 7%. And if I talk you today's rate is 14.2%, the bank is charging on my home loan. In 2018, when I filed a case against builder in RERA, that time my 156 EMI was pending out of 240. And now after 5 years, after exactly 5 years, when we are in 2023, I have paid approximately 50 EMI more. So ideally my interest rate, my remaining EMI should have been somewhere 110. But now India Bulls, after taking 5 years continuous EMI, India Bulls, by increasing the illegal interest rate, my remaining EMI is of 186. Now the question is, why India Bulls is doing this? Before there was no dispute between me and builder, India Bulls used to accept my all the application, used to reduce the rate, but what has happened? There is only one chain which is visible to me as a home buyer, that I have filed a case against the builder, and builder is using bank, since they have a nexus, using bank to force and suppress my voice against the builder. Builder delayed the possession by 2.5 years. Builder refused to pay the penalty. At the same time, builder was charging me 24% interest rate for my delay for 1 or 2 months. Now I'm in a situation when it seems for 20 years loan, now the tenor has been increased to approximately 38 years. I have been in a net where I do not see any escape for a whole life. I have paid approximately 34 lakhs as on date EMI, but still 21 lakhs is pending. For 28 lakhs of loan, it seems I have to pay 84 lakhs rupees entirely, even if this interest rate of 14.25% continues. Ideally, for any home loan, the overall interest payment is approximately same the amount of loan being taken. Let's say if you are taking a loan of 28 lakhs, in entire 20 years you would be paying around somewhere around 56 lakhs, 55 to 50, 60 lakhs. But I have to pay 84 lakhs, and that to the property which I do not see after 11 years. I do not see any visibility that I will be getting it. I have been made a victim of this situation just because I did not bow down against the builder's illegalities, and I am just following the law. But what law is doing to me? I have been fighting a case in tribunal. The case in RERA tribunal in Lucknow was filed in December 2020. But after 23 hearing as on date, case remains as the first stage. It has no hearing, no proper hearing has been done. Just why? First 7 hearing, builder did not appoint a counsel. Why? Because builder deliberately want to delay the justice, because he has taken all the money. He has nothing to lose. The only thing, only one who is losing here entirely is me. I have been victimized in such a way, and builder and bank is pushing me towards a suicidal tendency. Sometime I would not say sometime, very often I think of doing suicide with entire family, because the bank and builder is pushing me towards a poverty. I have not been able to pay the fee of my kids school. I have not been able to fulfill the dream of my parents. I thought I will be showing my own home to my parents, but that dream will remain dream forever, because my mother is up almost at last stage. I do not think she will be alive by this year. But as a son, this the criminal activity by the builder and the bank, and injustice and slow justice done by, or not, I would not say it's a justice. It's a it's a it's a trap by the judicial system. Judicial, how can a judicial system for 5 years, when I have made a complaint that this builder is not giving me the flat or the refund of the amount, and system is sleeping. and builder who has snatched my money, destroyed my life. They are enjoying their life. They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to answer to anyone. This is our justice system. This is our system where we are. If you buy one house, your entire life is messed up. Entire life. Now I regret the date when I booked this flat. Now I what I am trying to say here is, please be aware of this situation, and I don't want any one of you to be victim like me. I have lost my entire life. From last 11 years, I am forced to pay the EMI and rent together, and I am forced to pay very high interest rate on the loan just because builder is not allowing me the registration of the flat, and just because the judicial system is not taking care of my concern. I have I have been victimized, I have been running from pillar to post, but no system is helping me, no system is supporting me, despite the fact that I I I have, even after earning a good amount, I'm not able to live peacefully. I'm not able to send my kids to a school. I'm not able to pay the fee of my kids. That is my situation. Just what I did is just because I booked a flat by trusting a renowned cricketer Birendra Sehwag, trusting the bank, trusting the builder, and trusting the Indian system. When I decided not to give up against builder, I had a trust in the Indian judicial system. But unfortunately, I am losing that trust. It has been 5 years. My fight is still on, but I have not moved an inch ahead. Even bank is pushing me every day in a situation where I feel I should do suicide. I stopped paying EMI under protest for 3 months. That is August 2020 and September 2020 and October 2020. Believe me, India Bulls started harassing me like anything. India Bulls started sending, making harassing calls, threatening calls to me, to my wife. They got some from somewhere, they got my wife's number as well. I don't know how, because that number was not disclosed to the bank. But the bank and their collection agents started calling me, my wife, my colleague, my friends, my parents, and they were running behind me. They were like a shadow behind me. They were threatening to even kill me. They had one of India Bulls agent threatened to beat me if I do not pay the EMI in 2020. That time was COVID also going. But he used to come every second day at my home. He used to threat me, my wife, my parents, my kids. He even started following my kids to their school. And then after that, I decided to again start the paying EMI, because I was not able to bear the pain of losing the flat, paying the rent, harassment by the India Bulls. I was completely lost. Nobody was there to support me. No system supported me, despite the fact that I am paying taxes to the Indian government, despite the fact that I am not taking any subsidy from any government schemes, despite the fact that I have helped Indian government generating revenue by paying tax. by buying flats, by paying service tax, by paying stamp duty. I have contributed to the country. I have been tagging to PM, CM, DM, everyone, but nobody is helping me. That is the fact. And only wrong thing which I have done is I have stand up stood up against the wrongdoing, stood up against the illegalities, and trusted the Indian law. That is my only error. Now I leave it to you to decide, and support me. Please support me in whatever the possible way. Please help me getting the justice. Thank you so much.